carton with a bit of sparkling wine?
No wine. When it comes to juice, I like it freshly squeezed if I can.
Yeah.
A friend gifted me this really good South Korean fruit juicer, Hurom. It's a really good brand. And it really squeezes the fruit. And when you taste it, especially when you put together some pomegranate, some carrots, some ginger, some apple, it's heavenly. I love it. Hurom is the brand. Hurom.
Hurom. Okay.
Yeah, so it's quite expensive. So a friend was going away and gave it to me. So I have it and I'm making full use of it.
Lucky
and you,
you.
How do you take your juices?
I would prefer them freshly squeezed.
Yeah.
If I need a quick sugar pick me up, and let's say I'm going for a run, which hasn't happened in years, then I will buy a quick sugar pick me up in the form of a concentrated packaged orange drink. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I do have one of those little portable blenders, so
you bring it in sometimes.
I do.
Yeah. Yep.
So I just throw a banana inside with some oat milk or milk and some peanut butter, and then Bob's your uncle. That juice is mine.
Yeah,
So
it's nice and
fresh.
yummy and tasty. Yeah, that's the best thing. It's nice and fresh. In the next few minutes, we're going to a former healthcare worker who's now in Germany minding her own beverage business, so to speak. This Singaporean is producing and selling her own range of organic, non-alcoholic, cold-pressed fruit juices that comes in wine bottles. The brand is called Wolf+Wald, and they get their hand-picked fruits like apples, blackcurrants, and cherries from family-owned farms in Bavaria's Franconia region.
Well, their entire line of organic juices contains no additives or gluten, so this means it's A-OK for vegans too. So let's squeeze more information from Ernany Jasmin, founder and managing director of Wolf+Wald. Hey, Ernany, welcome to Singapore Today. We want to ask you, right, why are you based in Germany running this fruit juice business of yours there instead of doing it in Singapore?
Hi, Les. Hi, Melanie. Good evening to you. So I'm running away from the tropical weather of Singapore. Well, not at all, actually. It has been 15 years since I left Singapore, and Germany is my second home. And today I have my beautiful children with me, my family. So I just have to stay here for a little longer.
Oh, well,
yeah.
You go wherever your family goes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you've got to stay with your family as well. Yeah, 100%. You went, we hear, from healthcare to entrepreneurship in another country. So that's quite a leap. Why organic fruit juices when we know the processed fruit juice market is already so big? It's huge.
Well, that's simply because in my childhood, I never really had fresh 100% fruit juices, apart from the ones we find at the hawker center, freshly pressed sugarcane to watermelon. Things such as apple juices are usually concentrated. And I think time flies, and I really like to just serve 100% natural fruit juices to Singaporeans because, so much processed fruit juices, and I wanted to take it a challenge and challenge this whole status quo with wholesome, nutrient-packed, guilt-free juices.
Yeah, and right now our packet drinks in Singapore are labeled A, B, C, and D, and that is according to, of course, a certain contents of saturated fat and sugar.
Yeah.
So we can see it visually what we should or maybe shouldn't drink. But I'm just wondering, healthcare to entrepreneurship, right? So you fell in love, I'm assuming, went to Germany, and then became an entrepreneur. So how did you go from falling in love, going to Germany, and then becoming an entrepreneur? What story is there? It
has been a long way to entrepreneurship. First of all, when I land in Germany, I don't know any German. I have to pick up German classes in the morning. And then in the afternoons, I usually work in a cafe. And then I lived in Berlin and Munich, and I started working for a family office, and then I started going into the investment line, sourcing for new ventures and investment activities, and then I decide one day, why not just make my own stuff? And that's when I started Wolf+Wald organic fruit juices.
Yeah, but just making juices for yourself and taking it on a larger scale, that's quite an effort, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Especially being in Germany, my competitors are the big brewery companies. I stand no chance, very small little peanut. But then I thought, okay, if the market is already there and developed in Germany, I believe that Singaporeans deserve 100% fruit juices, fresh from freshly picked apples kind. And I thought I want to give it a try. I will always look at this as what I'm going through in a day-to-day basis when I'm in a supermarket. What am I being offered? And these days it's always, what do they have to offer to my children?
Yeah. And you're right, because if you take a drive through Germany, Bavaria, for example, even the smallest of towns has a wheat beer brewery. So you're right, your competitors, there are a lot of them around, a lot of breweries. Let's talk about the selection of the fruit to make your juice range. We mentioned them, apples, cherries, blackcurrants. Can you tell us about what happens after they're collected? And then there's a berry I'm not too familiar with. What is the other one, Ernany?
Is it aronia?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
Aronia.
Aronia, or known as chokeberries. Well, these are very tart, something towards the direction of ginseng.
Oh, okay.
High in vitamins and minerals as well. You can mix aronia with apple if you don't like this really tart flavor of juices. So it is something not to be mistaken with a blackcurrant. Mm-hmm. And the aronia berries, people tend to dry it as well and dip it with chocolate.
Oh, well.
And then eat it as a snack. So it really depends what you like to. You can do many things with berries, right?
I mean, once you mention chocolates, Mel is in.
Yeah.
She is in 100%.
I'm completely in. Yeah, I'm very completely vested in this conversation. Not that I'm already am, but even that much more. But the fruits, right? You go to these family farms. What happens after they're collected? They're handpicked.
Yes, that's right. Handpick of. So let's start with the harvest. A harvest season, depending on the type of fruits or berries, during May and end of summer. So apples tend to kind of be very ripe towards August and September. So they have been washed, inspected, and then a cold press, squeezed to extract the juice, and then which is also pasteurized at a suitable temperature to kill any pathogens without compromising the nutritional value and taste. So it all can be drink. I mean, you can drink it then 100%. It's all natural. There's no added sugar, preservatives, and as it is.
It's very important that you get your kids to give it the thumbs up. Did your kids like it straight away?
Yes, anything with apple juice is their favorite. They can swim in apple juice as well.
Okay, we got it.
It's a good fruit. It's a good fruit.
Yeah.
We know the juice range at supermarkets here are processed, and we know it contains a lot of added sugar. So maybe you can tell us as well, how do the Germans and Singaporeans rate your juices? We know your kids love it, especially when it comes to apple juice. But what trends have you noticed about their consumption habits?
Well, there is some similarities. One of the most the best way to describe this similarity is Germans are appreciative of the Reinheitsgebot. Gebot, which is the purity law, everything that is pure and of 100% natural. I think our health conscious Singaporeans also are looking for that, but they are going increasingly towards no added sugar. This is just aligning to the hustle and bustle city living in Singapore.
Yeah. You're definitely going to keep that in mind. We're wondering if you also keep something else in mind, because we understand you visit different production processes in the Bavarian region where these family farms are. So what do you or these farms do with all the leftover pulp, skins and seeds?
Sure. There are many ways. One of the most important ways is the common practice is actually to convert them into animal feed. Leftover pulps, skins and seeds are also processed, transformed into nutritious fodder. This is all for the use of livestock. Now, there are also ways that you can use the pulps and skins as natural fertilizers. So there's always something good and of great environmental benefit to it. And we can also practice this in Singapore if you want to. For example, the things I do at home is when we cut apples, pears, or bananas, all the remnants, we will dispose it into the biomul or the organic waste. This can actually be converted into biogas as well.
Oh, biogas.
Energy.
So you have a composter or a digester at home?
Actually, no, it's just a bin.
Oh, it's a bin, compost bin.
And depending on which city you live in Germany, there will be trucks coming in to pick up this big bin of compost, and then they will send it away to the right industries to do it. It's a regional thing in Germany, to my knowledge, yes.
Ernany, we know that fruit in Europe will be seasonal as well. So are you planning to expand your range to different types of fruit too? Because, apples can only be available, I guess, during
September,
August, September. So what happens during the rest of the year as well? Or do you just look at maybe the fruit being stored in a good place and then you use it when it's available?
It depends. For apples, I think they have a very great method. You always get it all year round. Sometimes you get apples from Spain as well if you're in the supermarket. For local markets, I always get from the regional markets when it's seasonal, especially strawberries right now. Let me just think. Well, for the rest of the year, for someone like me, I'll be looking for durian, which I can't offer.
Oh, you can't offer it. You could import it from China or even from Southeast Asia, but it's going to be too expensive.
Yeah.
And I think it's an acquired taste as well, Ernany.
But you're thinking about it, durian. Are you?
Right now, yes.
Oh,
that's amazing. I would love to. I would line up and I would buy it for sure.
With a bit of chocolate.
No,
with a bit of chocolate.
I think the next Wolf+Wald juices will be going into the more European exotic berries such as sea buckthorn. And these are the very exotic ones that we rarely get to have in Singapore. And I think being Singaporean born myself, I still like these exotic European style berries. Apart from durian, I can't live without it. So, but that would not be available. So,
all right. Well, you know what? We can always dream and plan towards that. Talking about planning, because you've also done your fair share of research. So, why the rise in preference for non-alcoholic drinking options? Is that a thing in Germany? Because they've got beer gardens there. So many.
Beer in Germany is a culture, something we could not see that fading away. And it's a tradition, 100-year-old tradition. When we look into the rise of non-alcoholic drinking options, this appeals to certain age groups and the individual's own lifestyle. Looking at millennials, I think we have passed the weekends at Zouk already.